Hi, everyone.
Guess what day it is?
It's Fertilizer Friday. So let us know that you're watching. Hashtag Fertilizer Friday. What are you feeding? Maybe some of you aren't even out in your yards, but you can be.
Some people probably aren't even up yet.
that could be. So maybe you're fertilizing your houseplants. We're going to be fertilizing today in the greenhouses. So got only 500,000 flowers that need a little feed of BYN.
And why do they need to be fed?
Well, because I ate. I ate breakfast because my body's going through the nutrients that it needs. And yeah, these are live plants and they also need nutrients. So that's what we give them is a fertilizer that makes them grow, makes them flower. It takes that sunshine in and it helps convert it. And so we're feeding them the nutrients from the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. So today is Fertilizer Friday, so that's going to be the topic, and we get a lot of questions, and that's fine. That's good to be asking those questions, and so a lot of people get really tripped up in the technicalities.
Can I say something first?
Of course.
Okay, so we're in 30.
Oh boy, 30.
We're in over 40 states now because we just
Yay.
added 3 this week.
Nice. So what were those 3 states?
Wyoming. No. Oh gosh. I'm working on Wyoming.
Okay. New Hampshire. Yep. Massachusetts
and Nevada.
Okay. Those 3. Those 3 are newbies. So if you're watching from those states, we can now legally ship to your state. So
I think there's over 40 states now.
Awesome. We're
and I'm
getting
working
there.
on 3 more.
And we're working on those coast states. They've got a lot of rules and regulations when West Coast or East Coast.
We just have to get a lot of analysis of heavy metals and stuff, which it doesn't have in it. Well, I mean, there's
you have to prove it.
minute, which
all of them do.
Everything does.
Do. But
you have to prove it. So we have to all that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm really excited about that.
I'm very excited too. That's a big win of going from
last year at
18
June.
or 19 states to more than double. That's not because of me, because I'm not a paperwork person. She is. She loves tackling that, and she went right after it with just a sheer I'm gonna.
But if something happens to me,
you're going to jail.
You have to do it.
No,
you have to do the paperwork. I'm not going to jail. I crossed all my T's and
we're all
dotted
legal.
all my I's.
And that's why it takes a lot of work, especially for a small business to. Fertilizer is heavily regulated, and they lump us in with the big billion-dollar corporations who have teams of lawyers and accountants and who are no problem, we'll do mountains of paperwork. That's not how it goes for us. I mean, we got 500,000 flowers in here that's demanding a lot of our time, so that's why it takes a lot to get into a new state. But you just have
to make sure you have all of your stuff the way they want it done.
Yep. So
anyways, sorry.
Here we go.
Go back to fertilizing.
Let's feeding our flowers. So a lot of people get tripped up on the how-to. And
oh my gosh.
So that's beautiful. That is raspberry jam, I think.
Look at that color.
Look at the veins of the flower itself.
It's like a light lavender that goes into a purple that then goes into a really dark throat. Isn't that just amazing? And look how mounded that is right now. And it's just going to get way over. And the fertilizer helps push out those blooms.
Yep. That's going to go to a good home, I'm sure.
Might go to my home.
Somebody's going to buy that and it's going to go to a really nice home. And I hope that they don't kill it. No, we'll be positive today. So, a lot of people get tripped up on the how-to. So they're like, Scott, how do how do I feed them? And so I'm going to have you hold this so I have more props. So,
great.
So I've got a 2-gallon watering can. And it has the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer in it. So this is 2 gallons, so 1 scoop per gallon. So it has 2 scoops in it. And we're just feeding it like a normal watering. And a normal watering is I'm giving it whatever it takes for the next 24 hours. So as this plant dries down, we want to replenish that water. We're not trying to water it for the month. Just like I can't go to the buffet and eat for the month. Doesn't work that way. I've tried. And my stomach isn't as big as my mind of like, oh, I just want to eat everything and then dessert. It doesn't work that way. And same thing with live plants. Yeah, like, I hurt. So we're giving this plant what it needs for the next 24 hours, whatever that amount is. So, and the best way is feeling it. And I'm going to go through, I'll take it here.
Thank you, because it's getting heavy.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, it needs a little drink. It's not.
But it's a big basket.
Yeah. So I'm going to water it adequately. Just enough that I can feel that heft to it. And that's what it's going to need for the next 24 hours. So, and this has the fertilizer in it. So it just has the feed in it. So I'm just watering it like a normal every other day of watering. It's just a normal watering. It just happens to have the fertilizer in it. So there's nothing magical that you have to do. Some people get really tripped up. You want to set that down? Some people get really tripped up on what if you get it on the leaves? Like you shouldn't get the fertilizer on the leaves. It doesn't matter. Because we're fertilizing literally 500,000 plants. Do you think I'm that careful in the next 3, 4, 5 hours? I'm not that careful, I assure you. I'm just watering it, fertilizing it. If it gets the leaves, big whoop. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the content. How much am I giving it? Am I giving it the proper amount? So don't let that trip you up on the how to. Just go ahead and feed at least once a week. Look at that coleus. We have to show the coleus in another segment. Look at that, how beautiful that is. How do you like those?
I'm very distracting, sorry.
I'm the one with ADHD. Like I see something shiny over there. Okay, so if we're gonna fertilize a little pot like this, all right, and I can see that this soil is a little bit dry, so it might take a little bit more. This one's light. This one was a little bit heavier. So I'm gonna water this one with the fertilizer. I'm gonna water it a little bit more. So again,
because it needs more water.
Yeah, because it's gonna
needs more fertilizer.
It's gonna just take up a little bit more. So that should be good. It's not pouring out the bottom. If it's pouring out the bottom, that's too much. That's too much water. It can't absorb it. You're just wasting it. And you're going to end up killing it if you make that into a bad habit. A lot of people have the misunderstanding. They got bad information from somebody of, oh, well, you want to water this until it runs out the bottom. No, you never want to do that. Just like I don't go to the buffet and eat until I throw up. That's bad. That's a bad habit. And it's going to, if I do that for the next 30 days, my body's going to look different, right? Same thing. If we water this until it's running out the bottom, that's too much water and you're going to rot the roots. So it will catch up to you eventually. So don't do that. So again, with the fertilizing, we're just watering it with the fertilizer water until it's adequate, whatever that amount is.
We get a lot of people that ask, what if my basket is dry?
Yep.
And I have to water it quite a bit? Do I still water it quite a bit with the fertilizer?
So what you want to do, and I'm going to pretend that this one is dry.
Another pretty color.
Yeah, it's a nice color. So you might have to give it a little bit of water and let that soil start absorbing, because what happens if it's really, really dry, what happens is when you water it, that water will just kind of shed right off until that starts seeping into the soil. So water it, come back in a half hour, an hour, come back and then properly water it. So you might just have to give it a little bit of water so it starts absorbing.
Can they still do that with the fertilizer? The fertilizer is not, it's not a heavy, like I'm going to burn you fertilizer. We've formulated it so it's kind of foolproof, I guess I'm going to say.
Well, if you use it, per the directions, the 1 scoop per gallon, you're not going to burn it. Even on like a hot day, a lot of people have that misinformation of don't fertilize on a hot day. Guess what? That would be every single day in my greenhouses because it's always 100 degrees, 120, maybe 135 degrees in my greenhouses. If I couldn't fertilize on a hot day, I would never be able to fertilize. So it's not true. You can fertilize on a hot day. Now you should fertilize in the morning. That's the best time when it's coolest. But yeah, you can fertilize on a hot day. Just like every single day in my greenhouses. It's a hot day. Ask everyone that works in these greenhouses. They're dripping by 9 a.m.
That's why we're doing the video early.
Right. So
because this will all be...
So, now there are other ways to fertilize. If you want to go beyond the watering can, that's a lot of work, but it works for most
Smaller
people.
yards.
Yeah. If you want to be able to fertilize your plants and flowers a little more efficiently, quicker, a hose end sprayer is just a fantastic way to do that. And we showed this last Friday, right? Yeah. So we have a whole video on how to use this. So I show how to actually put the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer in here and mix this up. So go back to last Friday's video. We have that on YouTube. We have a couple videos on how to use a hose end sprayer. So that information is all there already. And
then the next step from there,
we'll get to that another day, but we'll certainly show how we use a fertilizer injector. So that's the next step up from this. This is great for lots of flowers. If you have a big yard, a fertilizer injector is really the way to do it, and it just makes it so easy to. And we have several of them.
Then it's not hooked up to the hose like this. It's actually
it's shooting it right into the hose, and that's the way to do it, especially if you have a lot of flowers. So we'll show that on another Fertilizer Friday, but this is a great. And we do like this Ortho hose end sprayer. This is great. It works really, really well with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer, and it has a dial in here, so you can really tune it in and get the proper amount. Okay. So and again, all these are available at our beatyourneighbor.com website. The fertilizer, the hose end sprayer. There's about 100 other products on there, so it's not just the fertilizer. Shirts. Yeah, we got shirts a few weeks ago.
A lot of people
will.
Because they'll be backwards.
Yeah, Fertilizer Friday on there. And they're nice shirts. They're actually nice, comfortable shirts. And people have been mentioning, man, I got my shirt in the mail and it's really comfortable. Yeah, they are. They're very comfortable. How are we
going to distinguish employees? I mean, we know our employees, but how are people going to be coming in with and people just walking in like, hey, I got my shirt.
People are representing us with the Sharkies merch.
I love it.
That is awesome. Yeah, all over. In Hawaii, we sent a few shirts to Hawaii.
That was cool.
That was really cool. So
she had a good story.
Yeah, very, very cool. So again, you can find everything at our beatyourneighbor.com website. Thanks for watching us, and be sure to follow us on Facebook. So make sure you actually hit that button that says follow, and on YouTube, where we have over 300 how-to videos now. So between our Live from the Greenhouse series and just our teaching videos, there's over 300 videos. So there's a lot of information at our Sharky's Greenhouses YouTube channel. And it's even categorized. I spent some time early on this year of categorizing into playlists.
He has all the time in the world.
I'm having a hard time finding some of these videos, like how to use a hose end sprayer. You can go into the fertilizing videos and find that exact video very quickly, rather than having to scroll through 300 videos. Not that that's a bad thing. You should scroll through and watch every single how-to video. Please. Yeah, don't watch Netflix. You can just go through and watch 300 videos of ours. So it'd be way better, I think. That's kind of a biased opinion. Way better than Netflix.
Tomorrow, you're doing the Saturday stroll.
Yep. It'll probably be a little bit later tomorrow.
Yeah, it probably will be.
We have a little
special event for
it. Just if our church is coming over and doing just a little walkthrough, and Larry's making homemade donuts in our house. I'm gonna be so fat tomorrow. I'm gonna be like Homer Simpson, just popping donuts and eating. I'll probably have dimples on my thighs by 10 a.m. No.
All right, it'll be fun. So that'll be a little bit later in the afternoon once everybody leaves.
But we will do our Saturday stroll. It's most people are really enjoying that, and it's just kind of just walking around like you're grabbing a cup of coffee, walking around with me in our back greenhouses.
Tell us, have you been watching the Saturday strolls, and have you been watching them from the beginning of when the greenhouses were just like not even baskets hanging up behind us? It's just amazing from week to week to week.
Yeah,
even like this weekend, I came out here on, I don't know what I was doing there. I wasn't really out in the greenhouse over the weekend, And I came in, I'm like, how did this happen? Everything just grew like...
Sometimes it's overnight.
Like,
yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, you get some sunshine, you get the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer just coursing through those veins, and it's popping flowers and growing. And yeah, now we're at the point of the hanging baskets are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And
he spaced them too close together, and now we have to...
It's like, I'm going to be putting hanging baskets under my bed because we're starting to run out of room here. So
we'll figure it out.
We always do every year. 17 years running, we've planted too much, but we figure out how to.
Well, as soon as we open, we also start having room, and then Mother's Day hits. Mother's Day is huge around here for hanging baskets. Which, if you're looking for a Mother's Day present, go to your local greenhouse. What a great present! As long as Mom, wants to care for a basket.
Well, she can learn how to care for a hanging basket by watching these two. Yeah.
So, but once that hits, we start seeing, the gaps in the greenhouse. We'll start replanting and doing a second. I'm going to say a second
crop. Yeah.
But those won't be quite as big and massive as first.
They start growing really fast.
They do, because we have more sun. We have more.
The sun's not setting till later, and it's just so much warmer, and everything grows so much faster in May and June. So yeah, we're able to do those second, third, fourth crops because boom, it's like, man, they just grow fast.
Yeah. So it's an exciting time for us.
I'm just getting dripped. It's just raining in the greenhouses. Yeah, it's literally raining in here. I keep getting splashed.
You can see it splattered.
The ball guy knows first when it's raining. All right, we will see you again. Thanks for watching.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.